different in the sense that when, for some of us, we didn't come prepared, so definitely it would definitely eat you different.
Problem I have with anyone doing that, this person's situation, he or she
Well,
just
some people
came
are just
in,
mean and
you know
wicked.
a situation, or a situation that it just came in. It's trying to get his life together and all that. Just give them an opportunity to grow as you have grown.
Exactly.
Give
That's why.
Hi, my beautiful people. How are you all doing? Welcome to another interesting and educative episode of Life in the US with your favorite host, Yemzi, popularly known as Omoyemi. Yes, as I always say, I am back and better. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm here with my special guest today. But before I introduce my special guest to you, I wanted to use this opportunity to thank God Almighty for making it possible to be here back once again, because it's God behind all this smile. I can't take him out of everything. And I wanted to also use this opportunity to thank all the people the Lord has used for me on this program. I want to thank you guys for your support. I want to thank you guys for believing in me, especially my husband. I want to thank him too. And I wanted to also thank my new subscribers that subscribe to this YouTube channel. I want to thank you guys for the like, for the comments and share, for the share also as well. And for my new subscriber, you wanted to know what this channel is all about. Here we talk about life in the United States. How has life been with us here in the US? And especially for those of us that came from Africa, or came from other parts of the country. One or two things brought you here. Also passed through one or two things, and that is what we discuss and talk about here on this channel. We talk about our sources, we talk about challenges, we talk about what we have actually been through here in this country. That is what we discuss on this channel. And if you are the type of person who love to be inspired by other people's story, by other people's journey, this is going to be the right channel for you. So make sure you click on that subscription button. Make sure you like this video, and make sure you share this video with your loved ones at home. Like I always tell people, you never know how your stories can actually make an impact out there. You never know who is going to be touched by your story. If you don't share the story, nobody is going to know. And God actually made you to pass through those things so that you can share it with others, so that you can also actually make an impact out there. So, like I said, I'm here with my guest today. She's a wonderful person. She's a mother. She's a wife, and she has more than 5 careers. She's doing so well. She's a professional makeup artist. She's a professional hairstylist. She's a professional fashion designer with a name brand. And she's also an event planner. She is good and she's amazing. And you guys gonna know her, and she's gonna tell you a little bit more about herself. So here is our guest, and welcome to welcome to this channel. Welcome. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your support as well. And can you please introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself?
Wow. I don't even know what to say, because you said it all, and the introduction was so perfect.
Yeah,
I couldn't even believe that I could do all that, or that I am all that. So thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Your show is a truly inspiring one to people out there,
Thank you for that.
especially we Africans, or we migrants that come from other places and come to the US. So
Yes.
it is bench worthy, and it is inspiring to have a channel like this, and then to reach out to people that how life in the US is, and like you said, the challenges, the ups and downs, the success stories, and everything. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I am Bisola Jimokuku. That's my official name, but I like to go by BB, and this is because in America I realized that if you have a name, Americans will just mess up your name.
Mess it up.
And then it's not that they're doing it on purpose, but they just do that.
That's how they know how to.
Exactly. So you just most of my clients and friends and family also know me as BB. So I am married with 3 beautiful kids. I have a boy and 2 girls, and I have my bachelor's degree in chemistry from Nigeria, from the prestigious Lagos State University.
Okay.
So that's a little bit about me from Nigeria. And then also from Nigeria, I've had my passionate career, which is helping people look beautiful and make them look beautiful.
Professional makeup artist. Yeah, she is
their
good.
Makeup, their hair, and then also making beautiful outfits.
Okay,
so,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And what were your initial impressions of America when you first arrived?
Honestly, to be very, very honest, based on what we always see and what we always hear,
I know,
coming from where we are, America is it was that it's a land of milk and honey where we can just come in and just grab just grab the milk and honey and everything comes easy. But it's just based on the stories and what we see or what we've been told about America. And not to get me wrong, it is the land of milk and honey, but you just have to work your way to get it.
You have to work it out.
Yeah.
Yes. And how did your expectation of life in the US compare to the reality once you get here?
So the thing is, it different in the sense that when for some of us, we didn't come prepared, so definitely it would definitely eat you differently when you realize that it is different. So it's when I got over here and I realized that, oh, this is actually different from what we have heard or what we've seen. So that's when the reality really set in, and we
started figuring things out for yourself.
And which is going to bring me to say that there's so many resources and opportunities for especially African immigrants to help them navigate. But looking back, coming from how it all started and how I started, I didn't have those resources, but I'm thankful now that it's a different situation.
Okay, so, that's amazing. And what are some of the biggest cultural differences you noticed when you first moved to the US?
One of the very biggest one is it's obvious that there's different cultural differences, but a very big one is how we've been brought up to be very humble, to be very respectful, to not that you can be bold, but we've always been very humble and timid, where we can't really fully express ourselves. But that's not it in the United States.
Especially when they say, oh, you can't look at elders' eyes when they're talking to you. You have to like look down. Here, if you're looking down and somebody is talking to you, they count it as disrespect. And I would like, maybe you're afraid or scared of them.
Exactly. I would say that's a very, very big cultural difference. Whereas here in the US, it is that maybe that you have low self-esteem, or you're not confident of yourself and things like that. So that I would say that's a very big cultural difference.
Okay. And how did you adapt to the cultural differences you encounter in the US?
So it's really about mindset, and which that's the very biggest thing for me personally, and I would really encourage that we have that mindset shift. It's very important to have a mindset shift. I would always refer back to how we've been brought up and coming from where we are from, which is Nigeria. I know there are other African countries which they can relate to it as well. We've been conditioned in certain ways where because we've been conditioned and put in that box, our mindset has just remained the same. We've not had the opportunity to look at other cultures or just think things differently or from another angle. So the way that I adapted was they always say when you're in Rome, you behave like Romans, right?
Good.
So I had that mind shift change. I started looking at things differently, and I started realizing that, okay, this is how it's done, and the only way I can blend in and really move with the flow is just get that adaptation, get into it, and honestly just have a very great mindset shift.
Okay, that's nice. And what aspects of American culture did you find most difficult to understand or accept?
Well, I would say the most difficult one is trying to adapt into the corporate America. And this is also going back to how we've been brought up, right? So because we've been conditioned in such a way and to be very respectful, to be humble and things like that, it was difficult to look in the eye of my boss and just call her by name, or just just be bold and confident enough to say that, okay, this is what I can do, this is what I cannot do, right? So because of that, it was a little bit difficult, and definitely corporate America is different. It's very, very, very different. So it was a little bit difficult for me, but again, I'll go back to adapting, and then also having that mindset shift, just making sure that I was able to think differently and look at it at a different angle. So but I would say for me that was the most difficult, to be able to bring that confidence and you know, blend into the corporate America. Especially workplace where I worked, was there were a mix of people, you know, Americans and then Nigerians and Africans and all that. So what I did was, okay, I was just able to blend in such a way that my American colleagues, I just, you know, that's what it is. I just build that confidence and just call them by their name, because that's what it boils down to. But when I see my fellow African or you know, Nigerian person,
I mean, you still have to respect them.
Exactly. And then I know how I just at least had that miss of mister, because I know that, okay, we're in a work environment, but I'm still letting them know that, you know, that culture and that thing is still in me. It's not lost.
Yes, that's good. And how has the African community in the US supported you in your transition and adaptation process?
Starting, it wasn't helpful at all, because I would say that maybe I didn't have access to it easily, to the resources of, you know, community, and which is bringing my, like what I said earlier, it's very, very important to have that. So I would say two things. First, maybe that I didn't ask or reach out, or just, you know, find, or is it that maybe I didn't have access to it, right, based on, you know, where I came in? Because that's another thing, you know, the people, the first set of people that you meet.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I also wanted to ask you, like, because they say that the first place you stay in America really determines how far you go in America. Do you also believe in that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a very good example in my situation, and I'm very sure in a lot of people's situation as well. The first set of people you meet would either make you or mar you if you're in the United States. So you have to be strategic, and then, you know, depending on your goal coming to the United States, you just have to be strategic about what you want and what you want to achieve. So coming down to the African community is, again, it's two things, right? Because we've always been shy, timid, and always been conditioned in certain way. We tend to not ask questions. We tend to not be curious and ask, and, you know, just
how do they do this thing? How does this thing works and all that?
Everything still boils down to mindset, honestly, because having a mindset shift would change your life totally. So for example, you know, there are communities where they do a lot of outreach and forums and meetings and, you know, stuff like that. So if you're the type that, because you've been conditioned, or because you're coming to America in a very closed mindset, and you be like, oh, you don't want people to know your business, or you just don't want to ask questions, or you just want to be where you are, honestly, you will remain the same, because you're not going to have that change or shift. But if you have the mindset of, how can I do it better, what can I do, what do I need to do, you know, ask those quality questions, especially asking from the right people, then you have that.
And that is very important, asking from the right people, because there are some people you actually ask them, hey, how do they do things here? Which area did I need to go? But they don't want to tell you anything. They know the information, but they are not trying to share anything with you. They want you to figure it out by yourself.
Exactly. Because I would say again, it's still mindset, you know, which there are people like that where they be like, oh, you think you can just come and it's going to be easy for you.
Easy for you. Why can't it be easy for me?
Exactly. You have to pass through the same
thing that I went through.
Which everything is mindset and everything is about the people. So there are people that they have, you know, it also comes to community as well. You know, there are people that they have organizations and communities where, because they don't want people coming after them to go through the same thing they went through, they've created initiatives or communities to help them people and make it easier for them. So it's people like that that you should be reaching out to. It's events like that you should be going to. It's you asking questions, and not just limit yourself to what you have or what you know, or just what people around
And
you, to just extend your yourself, and just keep asking questions and keep doing what you need to do.
Yeah, and because a lot of people when they comes here and when they come to America, and they have this because I've seen so many people sharing their experience with me when it comes to that, like when it comes where they stay here in the United States, like the people will not let them like cook. They will put all their stuff up. I mean, why will you do that? Oh, you can't cook on my guy, you can't use my guy, you have to like go outside and buy some food for yourself.
I've had
You have
a
to, I mean,
situation where,
what I mean, do you also have that type of
oh
experience where
yeah, I had a very typical one where that you can't just use the bathroom anyhow, because you're gonna have to keep flushing the toilet, so
hey
you'll be limited to
oh my goodness.
using the bathroom. Again,
I mean, I can say I was one of the luckiest one there. Thank
yes,
God,
some
though.
people have it
Oh my
lucky.
goodness.
Some people have it lucky. Although, it wasn't like I had, that very strict situation, but I can totally relate to
I
that, where
mean,
people would just, want to be, again, I wouldn't blame them. And this is not that I'm supporting what they're doing, but I wouldn't blame them in the sense that, you're in their space, right? So maybe they're very protective of their space, but again, it's just trying to make, it's humanity is trying to make that person's life easier. That what can you do to contribute to this person's
but
life
they
and
know
not
their
make it worse?
situation. That
Exactly.
is the problem I have with anyone doing
Yeah.
that. You know this person's situation. You know he
Yeah.
or she
Well, some
just
people are
came
just
in.
mean and
You know,
wicked.
you know a situation, or you know a situation that it just came in. It's trying to get his life together and all that.
Yeah.
Just give them an opportunity to grow as you have grown.
Exactly.
Give them a chance to like.
Some people are just mean and wicked, but if you find yourself in that situation, why don't you just have an open mindset and rethink that, okay, if I make this person, how can I make this person's life easier?
Easy.
If I make this person's life easier, I know that definitely when the success story comes, the
You're
person
gonna
will
be
be
part
able
of
to,
their
exactly,
story.
the person will be able to share that, oh, this
Wow.
person did this person did this. So at the end of the day, I would say it's very important. Just have a very open mindset, have a very, good heart. Ask yourself, it's just about humanity. What can I do to make other people's life easier
To
and
better
better?
this person's life for
Exactly.
good. Like, can you share any experiences or stories about how you connected with other Africans or African American in the US?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I have different stories for that, and this is because of the different things that I do.
Okay.
But I would, so these I'd already started doing from back in Nigeria, because the situation now, you get out of school, you have all that degree.
Yeah,
And
because
yeah, so that's a little bit about myself. I do have a makeup brand which is called BB's Glam Bar. It's also, it's intertwined with the hairstyling as well. So BB's Glam Bar is a glam bar, like a beauty studio that you can come in, get your hair done, and then your makeup. And then I also have my clothing brand, which is Sassy Couture. It's making beautiful outfits, and professionally, in the United States, I started off being a pharmacy technician, and this is based off of my degree in chemistry. Also professionally, I do have my insurance agency where I help people with different life insurance, health
policy.
insurance
Yeah.
policies, and how you can actually use insurance and utilize it to
I told-
yourself. And so that is called Beautiful Life Coverage here in Georgia. We're licensed to sell all kinds of insurance, life, health.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Okay, how did your educational or professional background from Africa translate to opportunities for you in the US?
Oh, it did. So a very big one that I did that it was easy for me was, although I tried to go back to school, which is part of the things we think, we think that
when you
coming
come
to America,
here,
you can
have
just
to
easily go to school
yeah.
and then get a degree. But I tell you, that's not true. I would say it's actually better from Africa, because education is not as expensive here in the United States. And I'm talking about higher education. Say if you're going to college, or
Yes.
it's actually very expensive. So I tried going back to pharmacy school because I had a degree in chemistry and I wanted to major in drug chemistry. So because that opportunity wasn't available to me and I couldn't do that, so I just transitioned into being a pharmacy technician. It was easy for me. I just took the course and training and became licensed.
Is it like a certificate course or not?
Yes, it's like a certification course where you do the training and then you get licensed.
For it.
So you get licensed to practice. So I did that, and so that was a very quick and easy step for me, and it created a very big opportunity because I started working as a pharmacy technician. I started with retail first, and
I can say everybody that comes here started with retails.
Yes. So and then it was, thankfully for me, I had the opportunity to get employed by Emory, and this was from actually from a client and from a family relative. So
they just introduced you to
yeah,
them.
she gave me that opportunity, and I was employed. So I worked with Emory Healthcare, I worked with Northside, I worked with CVS Care Mark. So basically, I've worked different opportunities or different areas of the pharmacy. So I would say that was a very quick
It's
and
also
easy,
an opportunity for you here in the US.
Yes.
That's nice. And what have been some of the professional challenges or success you have experienced also in the US?
So professionally, I would say that well, I'll start with the successful ones first, which is, being a pharmacy technician, and I had the opportunity to work in different areas and also work with these big companies. So, and with that, I was able to meet other professionals like myself, and I tried to attend trainings and events and meetings and things like that. So it was successful for me. Even though I tried to transition as well to being a clinical research coordinator, so that was it was a challenge for me in the sense that I think there were some requirements of me that I didn't have, and then this is because you know I'm I'm an immigrant in a diaspora. I didn't grow up here, so it's actually different. Although there were opportunities that I would have sought for that are available, but I just didn't know how to get them, and I didn't have access to them. So I would say that was some of the challenges
you face.
But thankfully, things are different now. There's a whole lot of communities and initiatives for African immigrants
that can help them.
You can use and utilize for being that professional that you want.
Okay, that's nice. And how does the work culture in the US differ from that in your home country?
Like I said, it's very, very different. I've had the opportunity to work in corporate America, so it is totally, totally different. The job responsibility is very detailed and specific. You just have to go by it. There's no but.
There's no
going around it. Exactly.
Mm-mm.
There's no going around it. And then there's room for growth. Depending on how you do your job and how you're diligent, there's room for promotions and things like that. So it's different. Unlike where we're coming from, where there are ways around it. There are things that you can do, or say, for example, because I know this person, because I know this person.
You do that through connection, not through your hard work
not to say that it's not here in the US. It is here actually, but it is different because they want to see that you are worthy of it, like
of what you get.
Exactly. That, okay, even if you know someone, but are you truly who you say you are? Can you do that job? They want that loyalty. They want that that discipline. That, is this who you say you are? Is this what you say you are?
You have to be able to showcase yourself.
Exactly. Promote yourself and show yourself that this is what you can do.
That's nice. And what advice will you give to Africans who are looking to advance their careers in the US?
One thing I would say is, even if you're trying to move or you're here already, please don't limit yourself. Ask questions, reach out. There's a lot of initiatives and communities that have been started by people that have had the experience. They've walked the path, so they don't want you to go through that struggle or go through things like that. So they've created, they're trailblazers where they've created that path already. It's just easy for you to work with them. Trust the process, honestly, because it's not going to be easy. There's always a starting story.
Yes.
Everybody started from somewhere. So trust the process, ask questions. I'll be very specific about that. Have a very open mindset. Don't have a limited mindset. A very good resource for that is listen to podcasts. A very good example is Jim Rohn. I listen to him every time. Like, this is just recent. I had a mindset shift and personal development growth in late 2023. So imagine, over the past 30 years of my life, I've had a very different mindset and limited mindset.
Yes.
But honestly, if you change that, it's like
everything is just gonna
things differently.
Yes.
So look at books, podcasts, and different things you can use to have a mindset shift. And personally just grow yourself and develop
and
yourself.
develop yourself.
So if you have that, you'll be able to ask quality questions. You'll be able to reach out. You won't be timid or be closed. You would really be
you have a closed
opened.
mind.
Exactly. You'll be able to reach out. You have that confidence
in yourself.
and just that's just what you need to do. Just ask questions, reach out, and make sure you're following and you're part of it, you're engaging, so that way the resources that's available there, you will be able to get them
Grab into
and
it, tap
utilize
into it.
them. Yeah.
Yes, that's nice. And can you share a memorable experience or story that highlights your journey in the US? Can you share some memory that you say, this thing, that actually highlights your journey here in the US?
I have a lot, and this is just because I'm a person of different traits. I'm a very creative person, so there's really a lot of stories that I can share, right? But the one I can think of the top, say, since I had this mindset shift and I'd stopped working in corporate America, which I'm thankful for. I'm also thankful for the opportunity that I had because it was part of the journey for me. But it changed when I realized that at the end of the day, anything can happen. You can get kicked out. You
Out of the
can,
job.
yes, just like that. It's really quick. So what do you have to fall back on? And it's also that put yourself in a position where you're able to create your own, regardless of what it is. It could be anything. Just create your own. So I would say that that's the highlight of me, and that's a very big story for me. And the way that I got into it, because it's considered like the insurance industry. So it's different from me. I don't even have any knowledge of it from back in Nigeria, even when I got here. But I realized when I had that opportunity and someone shared it with me, I realized that, oh, so it's actually accessible and it's something that I can do,
Wow.
And I would say that's it for me. And since then, I've never looked back because
Your life has really changed.
Yes, it has given me a lot of opportunities to definitely be an entrepreneur of my own, have my own business, be able to earn on my own terms, and work on my own terms. Now I have more life to be a mom, to have time for my passion and other things that I can do.
Interested
exactly.
in.
So I would say that that's a very big one for me that I would highlight, and I'm thankful for it. I've never looked back.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. And how do you balance maintaining African traditions while embracing American custom, especially with your children?
It's very interesting because you just have to, honestly, you have to. And one thing I'll say, especially when it comes to the kids, is start very young, because the time that they're young, they're still moldable, and you can still mold them. You can still impact
what you wanted them to.
Exactly. So in that moment, make sure you don't throw away that culture, because you got here. There are a lot of people where because they got here, they changed.
Yeah, they started
threw away the culture, but don't, because now even the Western world that we are in, they are even recognizing it now, because the story is actually different now.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people that it was like, oh, I'm Yoruba, and I see them and I'm American. The American people,
exactly.
They say, I'm Yoruba. I say, how do you get yourself in Yoruba? Because I am learning
exactly
Yoruba culture. Exactly. And that was the wow.
They're
that's
even more
interesting.
excited for it. I would say they're even embracing
it
more than
embracing
us.
it more than us.
So the reason why I would say interesting is because I've not been able to throw away that culture or anything. I know that it's very valuable. It's what has brought me here.
Yes.
I'm thankful to my parents for that. So because of that, it's very valuable. I hold it very high. Like they would say, especially where I'm from, is Mofisi walls to me.
Exactly.
I
put it in my left hand. I don't want to use it to eat.
Exactly. So because I really value it, and it's very valuable, and I know the value, and I know that it's where I'm from. I can't throw it away. I have to impact it with my kids. It's very interesting that it's easy for me because like I said, I hold it very valuable. I've been able to impact them with it and make sure that it grows with them.
Yes.
Because it's very
So
difficult.
do you speak Yoruba to them as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. I can probably say that, even though they don't know how to say
it, but they can hear
but
it.
They understand what I'm
saying.
Exactly. And this is because I speak it to them
all the
every
time.
day in the house. They can go out there, talk all the English that they want to. But in the house, That's what I'm going to say. If you don't understand it, figure it out.
Yeah, even like me, if I say something in Yoruba to my daughter, she will ask me, Mom, what is the meaning of that?
Yeah.
And I would let her know the meaning in English, but I'm going to tell you in Yoruba.
Exactly.
Go and help me to bring water. Go and bring that water for me. Oh, mommy, you mean I should go and get? She know water in Yoruba. Omi, yes, mommy. I should bring Omi. Yes, go and bring Omi downstairs.
Another way to describe with them is, definitely it won't be easy for them to just, grab you like that, but you can use gestures. You can use, and so they're kids. They're very smart. They're very intelligent.
And you see this thing that when we are back in Nigeria, that's your mom. If your parent want to talk to you, they don't have to use word. When they look at you like this, you already know what that means. Go and do that thing. I use that a lot with my daughter.
I'm a very good product of that. There are different eye gestures. The one that looks straight in your eyes means something. The one that just looks at you and then move their eyes on looking also means. So there's different meanings to each look. And yeah, I would say that my kids understand that as well. So it's very, very important. Especially
they may be at Publix and you don't want it to talk to them or being ash. You just look at them like you give them that signal, that sign. They already know, okay, let me straighten up a little bit. Okay, mommy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nice.
It's very, very important.
That's nice. It's some personal question I wanted to ask. It's not that personal, but it has to do with you. Okay. And you say you are a professional makeup artist, you're professional hairstylist, you have your clothing brand and all that. And is there something that it's going to be beneficiary to you when you come to US? Is that why you venture into it and learn it before coming here?
No, absolutely.
What is the story behind that?
Absolutely no. In fact, me coming to the US wasn't even planned. It was just something that happened, and it was by the grace of God.
Oh, so thank God for
I didn't even plan that. I would use all of that and use it in the US. God has a way of planning his things. We plan, we do all that, but he's the master planner. So the way that I started, every African parent will send you to school and make sure that's all you just need to do. Just go to school, get good grades.
Yes, I'm focused on that.
And then, it has always been that, I'll go to school, become a doctor, but life will life you, and that will change, right?
I know.
So the story of how I know how to do all these things I would say, is the grace and the kind of person I am. Everybody has a very unique talent and ability. Another way is just pray for discernment and pray for the grace of God for you to be able to nurture it and know your talent and bring it out.
Yes, and so that you can,
so it will be useful for you. So right from when I was young, I've just been that very creative person where I'm always anxious to do things. I would always want to do things. I would always ask questions, how things are done, why is this, and that I'm thankful that my daughter has that.
Oh wow.
So
oh wow.
I'm thankful for. So that the way it started was back in 2010. I remember there was a very long ASU strike. The ASU strike is an association of different universities where through the federal government. For those that don't know, if the federal government doesn't do what the school wants, and then they go on strike,
and that's it.
So that happened, and it was unending. We didn't even know when it would end or what would happen.
That one was long.
Exactly. So, but I'm thankful for the people in my life. Especially my partner back then. He saw that I could, and that's another thing. I knew how to sketch. I knew how to draw and things like that. So each time that I wanted an outfit or I have something made, I sketch it out. I already have it in my head. And that's another thing about very creative people. If you have things in your head or something pop up in your head, I would advise just put it down, write it down somewhere. That's God telling you or showing you something. That it's part of your creativity. So I've always had that. And then I had this friend that she knew how to sew. That's the sewing story. That's how I learned how to sew.
Oh wow.
So I just, and he encouraged me. He was like, why don't you just, go learn this thing, and you have that talent of
already with
exactly. So just learn it and use this opportunity that they strike rather than just staying at home. Because that's what ASU strike does. You just stay at home. People that have the opportunity, exactly. If you have the opportunity to work, you work. So I reached out. I signed up for like a 3-month course, and because she's a friend, she did that. And then at the time, my partner then got me a sewing machine as well.
Oh, wow.
Even my mom was very encouraging of that. So, whatever I learned from her, I'll just go back home
and do it on your own.
And this is because I was interested. I was curious that how are these things made? Like, and I had that knowledge that whatever it is, I have the ability to do it. I can do it. I had that, I wouldn't say fearless. Yeah, maybe fearless, but I had that brave mind of whatever it is, I can
that
do
you
it.
put
Even
your
if
mind into,
exactly,
it's gonna be success.
Even if you tell me to climb this tree right now, so yes,
if you believe that you can do it, you're gonna do it. It's gonna be done.
Exactly. So that's how I started, and then I didn't even finish the 3 months I signed up for, because at the time, the way Nigerian mentality
Are you
is.
serious?
Yes,
wow.
They because you're learning, they want you to do some odd jobs, and
I know.
So when I saw that, I was like, and my dad wasn't even in support of that. So, but thankfully that I had that mind of I want to do it. So it was easy for me to just, well, I don't need you anymore. At least I already grabbed some things, and then I started doing.
So that's how you learned the fashion designer and all that.
That's it.
Oh,
and then
wow.
every other thing has just been self-taught. Like I said, I just, look at things. I'd be like, I can do this thing. What's the process? How is it done? Okay, I'll do it.
Oh, wow.
And then for the makeup and hair thing, for the hair, I had this cousin I used to make my hair. So whenever she makes my hair, and then she had a salon, I'll just go there, chill, and then we just talk. And then from there, whatever she's doing, I help her. And then I look at what she does too. So that's how I also learned how to do it. Makeup, it was just, out of curiosity. And then there's something called NYSC back then, where you go for youth service, and they had different work craft and all that. They come to the camp. So that one too, I just did like a brief learning, and ever since from there, it was just self-taught. Gele tying was kudos to my mom. My mom taught me that.
Oh wow!
Yes,
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
she taught me the basic of tying it and everything.
Amazing.
But every other thing was self-taught.
Wow,
and
that's
so
really amazing.
I didn't know that all of this at the end of the day,
it's gonna pave way for you. It's gonna.
So wow. It's just whatever your story is, wherever you're coming from, it's really God has been planting something that would eventually work out for you. So it's you now really realizing what that thing is. And then praying for discernment, praying for grace that God should bless that thing for you so you
to
can
make it grow. Like, I'm going to use myself as an example, because when I wanted to start this YouTube channel, I was so scared, even though I know exactly what I wanted to do, because I know I don't want it to be doing all different type of things. I just want to base it on what I'm good at. This is what I'm good at. This is what I can do it for free.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was worried, sick about it. And my husband was like, what's going on with you? I said, babe, I wanted to have my YouTube channel. This is what I wanted to do. This, and I was like, so is that why you stress out? I said, because I don't even know how to even open my YouTube channel. I don't know nothing about YouTube. My husband was like, that is the easiest part. Go exactly to that YouTube, learn what you wanted to, everything you wanted to know is there for you. So I opened my YouTube. I have the YouTube channel. I was like, okay, this is what I wanted to do. And now I was telling myself, this is where the devil started kicking in. Like, who do you know, Yemi?
Exactly.
How are you going to do this? How are you going to do this? How are you going to start? And I started worried again. And there's one woman in my church. I just called her. I told her about this dream. And she has been supportive of me from day one. Like, this is such an amazing thought, Yemi. Yeah. This is super smart. I like the fact that you can go outside the box and think about this. Yeah. You may think it's a small thing, but this is not a small thing. I know that I can. And I was telling her, I don't know anybody. I mean, I'm just here by myself. She was like, you don't know anybody. Once you know me, you already know everybody. I was like, really? So I think 2 months later, she didn't hear anything from me. She gave me a call by herself. Yeah. Oh, Yemi, what about the plan? What is going on with your plan? I know that I was like, I'm trying to get all the stuff that I need for the studio stuff, to just have a little studio set up for my program. But I say, okay, make sure you do that. I'm going to be your first guest.
Oh, I would say that's God sent, because God will actually send people to your life to cheer you and encourage you.
I mean, she's just an amazing human being. I've never seen anyone like that. Yemi, I'm gonna be your first guest, and each time I did any episode, oh Yemi, you're going higher. You're going. She will call me, started praying for me, and those type of people, you need them at your corner.
Oh, yes.
People that believe in your dream.
Exactly.
Because I've seen people that I share this with too. They just blew
They
it, blew it up.
Well, the thing
they actually told me, Yemi, I'm gonna be your guest. If they're gonna be my guest, maybe tomorrow. Like maybe tomorrow, but at the end of the show, I don't let that put me down. I don't let that weigh me down.
You just have to keep going.
I just know that if this is God's willing, if this is God's doing, it's gonna perfect everything. And everyone that have come here on this program, on this show, I can't tell you, they have just been, I'll just tell them like this, and boom, it's like that. Boom, it's like, I was like, what? I said, oh, this can only be God. And I'm also super grateful for that, because you want somebody that believe in you, and most especially believe in yourself.
Exactly.
You have to believe in your own dream. Even people don't believe in it, you have to believe in your own dream. What you know that, hey, I'm good in this, keep doing it. It may not pay for you now, but later on is going to, boost, and you're going to be grateful for that.
I mean, there's a lot of success stories of how people started. So, like you said, it's just, first of all, believing in yourself, especially if you've had that vision or that dream
of what you want to do.
It could be anything. It could be selling water. There's a lot of people selling water.
And they are successful now.
So it could be anything, as long as you dreamt it, you thought about it, God put it in your
mind.
So just believe in yourself. Definitely fear. I mean, it creeps in all the time. People have fear, even up until yesterday or day before yesterday. Deep down, you'll still be like, oh, would this thing work? What is going to happen? It's always there. But like you said, thankful for the people in your corner, especially your husband. I would say
husband was the first person to tell me, Yemi, you have so much potential in you. He believed in my dream. It supported me in every areas of my life. If I want to go this side, okay, Yemi, you can do that. Yemi, you can do this. Yemi, I was like, even when I don't believe in myself, he believed that, Yemi, you can do this. He said, you have so much that you can give. You don't even know it yourself. I was like, hey, really? Yeah, really.
Well, I've had the dream, but I'm also the founder of an initiative where we're supporting women and just help them, make them look beautiful, and whatever occasion that they need, especially that they need to feel loved. So the initiative is going to be there for them. It's a platform, especially for women that are in distress, women that are in fearful relationship, that are depressed, that are in violent relationship.
That's very important,
and things like that.
Because a lot of people are going through that, and they're fearful to even bring it out there. But and a lot of people have died. In depression, they die through abusive marriage, abusive spouse, and all that, because they don't want to speak up.
Exactly. So the initiative is going to be there to tell them they're brave, they're beautiful, and they can always look beautiful as well. So Women Doing It Afraid, please guys, go check it out. Instagram.
It's an amazing program. I want to be part of it. And I wanted to say that, what advice will you give for women generally, how to improve ourselves and how to do things for ourselves, to make ourselves, feel, because at the end, I've seen a lot of women say, oh, all my focus are on my children. What about if those children grow up and they neglect you and they didn't take care of you? So what advice do you have for women? Even at the same time, if you are still a model, you still a wife, you can still do things for your own self to make yourself feel good, to make yourself,
one thing I'll say is, regardless, even before the kids came in, you were yourself. Before you got married as well, you were yourself. So it's, first of all, making sure you find yourself first, love yourself first. And this, I would say, I'm very specific and strategic about it, is having that mindset of, I am me. I can do things, if I want to, or if I want to do things, I can do it. I can go for it. I can become what I want to be if that's what I want. So love yourself first. And this will boil down to, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you have to fill yourself first, love yourself, so that you will be able to cup, because we have different little cups in our lives. We have our kids, our children, our business. If you're the professional type, there's different. You're also, the sibling to some siblings that you have, your parents. So there's women we're a lot. We are all, so we have to make ourselves all as well, and make sure that we don't pour from an empty cup. So it's about developing yourself. Be bold, know that you're beautiful, you can do things as long as you put your mind to it. So with that, I would say feel yourself, love yourself, so that you can fill the little other cups you have in your life.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And this interview today was such an amazing interview, and I'm very sure you guys have learned one or two things from this interview. And I wanted to thank my guests once again for your time, for your support, and for driving all the way to come here. I really wanted to say thank you so much. And for all my viewers at home, this is going to be it on this episode today. Till next time, we're going to bring you another interesting and educative episode. I want you guys to stay tuned and stay blessed. Bye for now.
Bye.